Hello, my name is Adam Wright, and this is my proposal for an interdisciplinary intervention for the Waverley Rugby Club in regards to the staff and structures that they have in place to ultimately improve player performances. Firstly, I'm going to provide a brief background on the club and why I believe this intervention is necessary at this time. Waverley Rugby Club is in the New South Wales Suburban Rugby Union competition. The club has a strong history and boasts one of the best records across all clubs in the competition, with 45 premierships across all grades in the past 40 years. The club has 4 men's grade teams from 1st through to 4ths, an under-21 Colts team and a women's team. The New South Wales Suburban Rugby competition has 6 divisions, and Waverley are currently in 2nd division after being promoted from Division 3 last year. The Waverley committee members have set a target to get back to Division 1 by 2018. With this goal in mind, the committee have set out on a path to hire more experienced coaches and staff in new roles to deal with this need for a higher level of performance from the playing group as the competition becomes more fierce up the divisions. At this current time, each team has 1 coach and the club as a whole has 1 physiotherapist that is only present at games on Saturdays. This is the extent of the performance staff at the club, and this intervention proposal suggests that the number of staff needs to increase and new roles need to be created to see a desired improvement in player performance. The first grade coach currently employed is an ex-international player and has the backing of the committee and brings a great wealth of experience to the team, with particular reference to forward play and set piece structure, as that was his specialty when he played internationally. This intervention suggests that the club employs an assistant coach for the first grade, who can also act as a backs coach, which was an area of weakness in the season just completed. This individual must interact and work well with the first grade coach in particular, as they will be ultimately working together as a team. In addition to this, it is suggested that every team is assigned a team manager to assist the respective coaches with game day preparation and administrative duties. The team manager will also take on the new role and responsibility of filming the games each weekend for analysis purposes throughout the next week. Whilst these new roles mentioned will strongly aid in improving overall performance in games, in terms of gameplay and strategy, it is also equally important to have a new focus on improving the physical aspects of the players. It is suggested by this intervention that a designated fitness coach is employed for the pre-season sessions and then also intermittently throughout the year if the head coach feels it is needed. This fitness coach will be for the entire club and not for the individual teams. It is also recommended that to aid with the inevitable increase in physical demands, that an additional physiotherapist is added to the club. This additional physio would need to also be available to attend trainings during the week to aid any player who may need treatment or strapping to limit the chance of any injury recurrence during training sessions. All of these new roles mentioned would need to be considered as part-time roles, as this is an amateur rugby club and it simply does not have the finances to employ anyone full-time. To show the proposed timeline of specific details of this intervention, a Gantt chart was created. As can be seen, the first task that needs to be completed is the hiring of a fitness coach for the pending pre-season. You can see that pre-season starts in December, so it is imperative that a fitness coach is hired by then. 1 month has been allocated to this task to allow for interviews and research to find the most suitable candidate. Similarly, an assistant coach also needs to be hired in this time, although an extra month has been allocated for the hiring and interviewing process, as the first month of pre-season training will be purely fitness-based and their services will not be required until early January. The hiring of team managers and of an extra physiotherapist will take place in the 3 months before the season starts in April. These roles are predominantly only required for during the actual playing season, so this is the reason for the extended hiring time. It is suggested that if plausible, the new physiotherapist has an existing working relationship with the current club physiotherapist so that they can work in unison throughout the year a lot easier. Once the season is completed, there is a month-long period that has been allocated for a post-season evaluation. Like with most sporting organisations, this evaluation will be predominantly results driven. The committee have set the coaching staff a goal of finishing top 3 on the club championship ladder, and also the goal that all grades make finals. In addition to these goals based on results, there has also been a challenge to improve the club's culture amongst the different grades from 1st down to 4th. To measure this, the committee will use the allocated month to contact various players from throughout the grades and ask them a series of questions on how they feel the culture of the club was throughout the year and whether it had improved since last year. For this intervention to reap benefits, all the individuals involved on the coaching staff and on the committee need to be able to work together in harmony. Each individual brings their own personality to the table, but ultimately, for the club to be successful, egos will need to be put aside so that this harmony can be achieved. For there to be success, all individuals involved need to display strong planning, collaboration and communication skills with the others. A common complaint about past years at Waverley Rugby Club is that there has been no collaboration between the coaches of all the different grades. This lack of collaboration refers to each grade and team having different plays and different calls for lineouts, for example. This needs to be rectified by the new staff and coaching group so that there is no confusion in the style that the club wants to play. It is important that all coaching staff for the club collaborate early in the year during pre-season and agree upon these decisions so that they can be implemented as soon as possible, which will give the club the greatest chance of success. As the first grade coach has the most experience, he will likely take the leader role in the group and ultimately make the final decisions on gameplay structures and tactics. Mutual respect between all these individuals is paramount, and there needs to be a strong clarity of the task and a clarity of each person's role in the group. Once this planning stage is done, then the next step is to implement and communicate these strategies to the entire playing group. If the entire playing group, whether they are in 1st or 4th, is playing under one strategy and structure, then this will provide numerous advantages to the overall club performance and club morale. Whilst all this predominantly takes place in the pre-season, it is equally important that everyone continues to communicate and collaborate effectively during the season as well. It is suggested that the coaches, team managers and one of the club physiotherapists meet at the start of each week to discuss the games from the weekend just past. This meeting will provide a platform for any strategy or tactical changes that may need to be made, as well as allow an opportunity for any queries or questions to be brought forward and dealt with accordingly. Throughout the season, the new role of team managers will be important, as they will act as conduits between the playing group and the coaches, as well as between the coaches and the physiotherapists. It will be their job to communicate effectively with the playing group and relay any questions that may have to be brought forward to the coaches, as well as confirm the availability of each player. The physiotherapist will communicate with the team managers in regards to which players are injured and unable to play that following week, or if they just need to be rested on light duties at training. Both physios need to be in contact with each other continuously, and it is essential to performance that one of the two of them attend at least one training a week to strap and provide treatment for any niggling injuries that the players may have. This will mean some planning ahead and communication between the two of them. I believe that if this intervention is put in place, then the club will ultimately have some success. It is crucial that all individuals employed in the new roles are passionate about succeeding and that they are all able to work well with the others with minimal conflict. Planning, collaborating and communication are essential tools that all the individuals on the coaching team will need to possess and use if this intervention is to be successful, and if the end goal of club promotion to Division 1 is to be obtained. Thank you for listening.